Hey everyone, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you. Now, Corsair have launched the LC100s, which, although they're going to hate me for saying it, are basically mini Nanoleafs that you can plug into your PC and then control with all your IQ software. So I have the starter pack and the expansion pack. So we're going to give you a quick guide to show you how to install them, how to use them, how to set them up, because there's a little thing that you kind of have to do. I'll show you in a second. And then we'll show you them lit up in the rig. So we'll start at the beginning, and to kick things off, when you first go to look at buying an LC100, there are two different kits that you can get. You get the tile starter kit, and that does come with the hub and everything inside. So you get your 9 lighting triangles, and each one of these 9 lighting triangles has 9 LEDs in it, so 3 on each side, so 81 LEDs in total. But you do get an RGB hub to sit inside this. Now, it's only got 2 connectors, which if you think to yourself that you're going to want to get more than one extra light tile expansion kit, that doesn't matter, because you only have to connect one of these in, and this will sync in with your IQ software on your desktop and everything anyway. So you've got those bits inside, and then literally the only difference between the starter kit and the expansion kit is the lighting node. So that's it, you get 9 in each, and this one just comes with the extra connector, like I said, the RGB hub. If you've already got stuff like this in your system though, because some of us will have already invested in IQ and stuff, and you've got LED headers in the back on any of your lighting nodes, you can use those. Now, as you will see, there are power connectors on each of the packets. I'm just going to try and get in there. So, taking it open. If you've ever seen Big Hero 6, they feel a bit like the little mini robots that they have, because they literally just jump in together. Now, what you do need is, you can see that this one is powered, and it does have the SATA power connector, but then it also has the 3-pin RGB. You only need to connect one of them for whatever shape that you end up making. But you do need to have a power connector connected for roughly every 9 triangles, because there's just not enough throughput, which I thought was a bit of a shame. I was hoping there was going to be a little bit more expansion possibilities without multiple SATA connectors than that. Now, the good thing about these are, however you would like to put it, is you can make whatever shapes you like. And like I said, the fact that they are magnetic, they kind of sort themselves out. The magnets are really good, but you can build 3D shapes if you want. I actually want to sit and have a proper play with these to see what shapes that I can get out of them, because you could build little prisms or pyramids or something in your system. You could go pretty crazy with them, but they are actually very simple, is probably the way that I want to put it, because you don't really have to think about things other than you're going to need a couple of power connectors every 9 triangles, and the magnets, if you have a look, they're very snappy, but then inside you can see the brass pins, and the magnet side of it is really, you don't even need to really think about it. Once you've got them located, that's it, and then they pretty much sort themselves out because of those magnet parts. You can see them trying to snap into each other now. Now, if you're going to make a design up and you are going to try and make a large amount of them, you can have 18 as a maximum. So you can only have the starter kit and then the expansion kit or 2 expansion kits if you've already got some LED lighting node connectors already in your system. So 18 total tiles before you have to start adding in extra LED connectors and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be possible without multiple LED connectors to have a massive display. I actually think that's a bit of a shortcoming, mainly because I already wanted to do really silly things with it. But let's have a play around with what it looks like in a system and what sort of shapes that we can build. Now, one of the cool things about the fact that the lights are magnetic, it does mean that with the majority of case components in the Corsair range, but pretty much with all of them, you can fix the magnets wherever you want, because they do pretty much grab themselves, and you can stick them because there's magnets on the back as well. So for argument's sake, in the 7000 that I'm using here, you could have them to line either way around the power supply holder, but then also you could go and cover up the back. Well, actually, the magnets are very good, but you could put them up the back of your graphics card in a really nice simple way, but you can also have them so that they move down onto, oh, that one doesn't need it because we've already got one. We can have that one on there, and then we could make a line of them down here as well, so you could actually bring the rest of the design down onto the case if you wanted, in a really nice, simple and funky way. You do need to remember though that you are going to have to factor in where you are going to put your power connectors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I already need to get a power connector in here. So I could put one on there, hide the cable over that way, carry the design along, hide another cable over that way. That's just the thing that you're going to have to keep in mind. But obviously, because we can move them around and there's a lot of steel in the cases, if you didn't want it up here, you could easily build yourself a design up this side of the case. The only place where you're going to come into issues, because the Corsair power supply covers are steel, it's going to be these horrible front bits with all the gaps in, which I've always moaned about, are plastic, but you can cover up to a certain point if you wanted to bring it down to the rest of the case. That one's going to look better if we go that way. But you get the idea. You can go 3D with it, you can go funky with it, you can make bends around corners. The only bit that's going to let you down is obviously bits like this are plastic, so you're going to have to work around it and get creative. Or, no, you wouldn't be able to put metal on the other side and then do it. But there are lots of places where you could put them. But now, I'm going to finalise the design and then we'll light it up. Effectively then, what you do is you see the master triangle and then you have to add on the amount of triangles that you're going to be using. Don't forget, the master is technically 0. So if you've got 9, then you're going to have 8. You'll see 8 at the end because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 in total. So you're going to have either 8 or 17 tiles on your screen. Now, I need to have 17. Once you've done that, you can then go in and set up the effects that you would like to have on your triangles. Now you can go fully custom. I'm going to keep it simple today because I'm never going to be able to cover the amount of things that you could do at home, but they do look rather nice. My personal favourite is the pastel kind of watercolour one, but there are lots of other options where you can make them chase in one triangle at a time. You can make them chase colours. You can have them just fading really nicely, or obviously you can go for the static bold colours to suit whatever you have within your system itself. Now they look the part, and beside the fact that I found personally with my setup, H170i, and I do have a couple of Commander XTs in the back anyway, I still needed to use the node that came in the starter kit, which I was a little bit upset by. I didn't manage to work my way around it. Could be an early bug, because I was hoping I'd be able to plug it straight into the commanders that I already had in there, but it didn't work. Now, the only other thing is, like I said, the miniature node that you get with it, I did find had to go straight into the motherboard. So that is a good tip for you guys at home. The other tip that I have for you guys at home, there was a time I didn't have the second power lead connected in. And when I didn't have the second power lead connected in, the last 2 or 3 squares or triangles or modules, whatever you'd like to call it, you could see that they were ever so slightly delayed, or the colours weren't quite right, and you could tell that something wasn't kind of like playing ball. Plugged the second SATA in, and that problem went away. So it does at first look like you're only going to need to plug one SATA in, but then you do need to add that second one in. So in total, if you're going to have 2 sets in, you need 3 SATA cables in the back. So bear that in mind with some of the configurations that you've got. If you've got lots of SATA hard drives or something like that, I'm assuming that you would be able to use, you can buy SATA fan out cables. So you take one and plug it into multiple. I'm assuming they will be fine with something like this, but it's just you are going to need to factor it in. The other thing that you need to factor in is I've looked online, and the starter kit is £100, and then the add-on kit is £80. So I have £180 worth of tiny triangles in the system at the moment. Now, I personally think I'm kind of in 2 minds with this, in that I think they're obscenely expensive, like crazy expensive. But if you've built your system and you've run out of things to spend your money on, and you are literally looking for the next thing that you can do, it does add something nice that you can do with it. I was also very much of the opinion that I wanted to test how far I could get them, so I could put them up the backgrounds and stuff. But with the fact that pretty much every 9 square triangles, I keep saying squares, every 9 triangles you need to put another SATA, I think they are slightly limited as well. But if you think about the little contacts on the very first one, could end up with lots and lots of power being drawn through it, they would end up probably overloading. So I understand why. I'm just kind of upset that I'm not going to be able to do anything crazy, because I was thinking about like having them like on a monitor or something, and they're not quite set up for that yet. But for a proof of concept, I kind of like it, and I would like to see options explored with doing other things, but it's just the price is obviously going to make a lot of people sit down and think, whoa. But thank you very much, Internet Cookie, for any of you in the comments that managed to get to the end. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, like, all of the things. Please do all of the things, and I will love you muchly. But for now, at least, this is Tom Logan that's just realised as he's refilmed this end bit that he forgot to turn the light on. But out. Ding. Love you, sis.